Hello friends, welcome to yet another captivating session of Wisdom Zone. This is Shubro, and in today's video I am gonna discuss the correct use of zero conditional and first conditional, and I'm quite sure you're quite eager to know the correct use of zero conditional and first conditional. So it is my earnest request to all of you, please watch this video carefully to learn the correct use of zero conditional and first conditional with examples. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do not wait, immediately go ahead and subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon to get the first notification. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So friends, welcome back once again to this fascinating video. As I already promised, in today's video I am going to discuss a very important aspect of English grammar. I am going to discuss about zero conditional and first conditional. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So friends, as you see on your screen, today I have a very important topic of English grammar because I'm going to discuss conditionals. I'm going to focus on zero conditional and first conditional. So before I go ahead, let me first of all clarify what exactly is a conditional. So as you see on your screen, what is a conditional? So conditional is very important because it describes the result of a certain condition. So we use conditional to describe the result of a particular condition that is given. So let me show you, as you see the example, the first example. If it rains tomorrow, I won't go to the office. Condition is there using if clause. I am giving the condition if it rains tomorrow, and the result is I won't go to the office. So it helps us to describe, we use conditionals to describe the result of a certain condition which is given or discussed. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear. So first we are going to discuss about zero conditional. As you see on your screen, zero conditional. So let me tell you what exactly it is. The zero conditional is used to make statements
about the general truths,
scientific facts, laws and rules. In general, when you make sentences
about the general truths,
of scientific facts and normal laws and rules, in general we use zero conditional. So it's not anything specific. So as you see, the example is given. Second example is on your screen. If you freeze water, it becomes solid ice. So it happens in general, isn't that? It's a kind of a general law of nature. I'm quite sure it's clear. Up next, let me discuss how to form sentences, which is quite imperative for your day-to-day English conversation. So as you see, how to form sentences. So as you see, we use if, or we can use when also, plus simple present to talk about the condition, and that's called the if clause, or we can also use when. Here we use simple present that gives the condition, and in the second part also, result clause also, we use the simple present tense. So one thing is clear, that in case of zero conditional we use the simple present tense in both the clauses. In the conditional clause we use the simple present tense, and in the result clause also we use the simple present tense. So let me show you and let's discuss some interesting sentences. As you see the sentence on your screen, number 3, if I drink too much tea, I remain awake at night. So it is something, it's a kind of a general truth or fact, that if I drink too much tea, that is the condition, then I remain awake at night, I cannot sleep. This is a kind of a fact. So up next you see the next one. We can also change the sentence. As you know, in case of conditional, we can also use the if clause in the second part of the sentence. As you see, I'm just interchanging the sentence, I'm bringing the if clause at last. So as you see, I remain awake at night if I drink too much tea. So the most important thing to note is that when the if clause is coming at first, so that time I am using comma, and then using the second clause, I remain awake at night. But when I'm using the if clause at last, okay, in the later part of the sentence, then I don't have to use comma. When I'm starting with the result clause, as you see, I remain awake at night if I drink too much tea. So here I have to just remove the comma because if clause is coming later, in the later part of the sentence. So just remember, this is a rule for all the conditional sentences. We just take off the comma when the if clause is coming later. So up next we will see some more examples. As you see the fifth example. So if you boil water, it evaporates. So that is again a kind of a fact, scientific fact, isn't that? So up next we will also see the sixth sentence. Before that, let me tell you, we can also use when in place of if. As you see the sixth sentence, when the sun sets, it becomes dark. So again, it's a law of nature, isn't that? So we can also interchange the sentence. You can say it becomes dark when the sun sets. So again, I'm just removing the comma. So up next, we are going to see the eighth example is on your screen. If Tom comes, ask him to wait. So we can also use zero conditional to give some instructions. As you see in this case, in this example, that if Tom comes, ask him to wait. So this is an instruction. So we can also use zero conditional to give instructions. So I'm quite sure it's clear. So friends, up next we are going to dive into the second part of this video. We are going to discuss about first conditional. So let me tell you, we use first conditional when we talk about future situations we believe are real or can be possible. So here we use the simple future tense to describe the result of something. As you see the example, if I feel unwell, I won't go to the office. So this is the condition, if I feel unwell, and I'm talking about the result, I won't go to the office. So here I'm using won't, that is, I'm talking about future. I'm using the simple future tense. So as you have already understood the syntax, how to form sentences, let me again show you. Here at first we can use the if clause at first, and after that we use simple present tense to give the condition, and in the later part of the sentence we use the simple future tense to give the result. So as you see the example, if something happens, then that thing will happen. So that means if something happens, then the other thing will happen. So we are using the simple future to talk about the result. So let me give you some more examples to make you understand. As you see the 10th example, if you study hard, you will pass the exam. So the condition is that if you study hard, in the future, you will pass the exam. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear. Here I'm using first conditional. I'm talking about the result of studying hard, that you will pass the exam. So again, we can interchange. We can also use the result clause at first. You will pass the exam if you study hard. Meaning is same, just we are taking off the comma, removing the comma, as because if clause is coming later on. So as you see some more example, if it rains, I won't go out. And you can again say in this way, I won't go out if it rains. So here again I'm removing the comma. Next, let me also show you at last that you can also use modal verbs in main clause in place of the future tense in order to express the degree of outcome. So we can replace will, or we can replace the future tense with modal verbs. So let me give you some examples. As you see, number 14, I may join you if I have time. So here I am replacing will with may. I may join you. So this is a modal verb. I'm quite sure it's clear. If you work hard, you might get a promotion. So here again, I'm not using will. I'm not saying you will get a promotion. You might get a promotion. I'm replacing will, the future tense, with modal might. So like this way you can also say. So at last, let me just clarify. I think this is a very common confusion people have. People always get confused between zero conditional and first conditional. So let me clarify that the first conditional describes a particular situation, whereas the zero conditional describes what happens in general. It doesn't talk about a particular situation or in the future. It talks about things in general, and we use the simple present tense in both the clauses in case of zero conditional. But in case of first conditional, we use the future tense to talk about the result. So as you see, examples are given. Number 16, if you heat wax, it melts. So it is in general, okay. It is a kind of a general truth. That's why it's zero conditional. And if you see the next sentence, number 17, if I meet her, I'll tell her. So this is a special condition. It describes a particular situation, okay, that if I meet her, I will tell her. So I'm using future tense, that I will tell her. So I'm quite sure it's crystal clear how to use zero conditional, first conditional. So both are quite important. I'm quite sure you have understood. Please go through the examples and try to make sentences and comment below. And I'm quite sure you have also liked this video like my other videos, and after watching you will not have any doubts regarding zero conditional and first conditional. So it is my earnest request to all of you, please try to go through the examples and make sentences and comment below. And if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do not wait. Immediately go ahead and subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon to get the first notification. So stay tuned for further informative videos, friends, and do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Wisdom Zone.